I want to introduce my friend, Melissa Feld, who is running for City Council. Melissa.
Thank you, Marjorie. And I appreciate everyone being here, so I will keep my comments short. But I do want to thank my neighbors, my friends, and my family. My daughters, Reagan, whose idea this actually was to do it at Hurry for Books, her favorite store, and Audrey for her effervescence. I want to thank my husband, Gary, for his fabulous cooking and supreme support. His steadfast support has helped me get through all sorts of things, and his cooking also. There were some officials here earlier who had to leave. There's a senior services dinner tonight, so Mayor Yule was here, and I think Allison is still here. Allison Silverberg as one of the other candidates running for City Council. Donna Fossum, as well as Justin Wilson, thank you for being here. I'm grateful to those candidates for their support, taking time out from canvassing, and I would love to work with any one of them and all of them. I hope they'll vote for me on June 12th. But I want to thank Hooray for Books, their staff, their managers, the owners, for everything that they've given our family, and because Hooray for Books to me is the epitome of Alexandria. I can't think of a better place to start this race. It's creative, independent, it's a locally owned business. It is, to me, a place of community, and that is what Alexandria is to me. I came to this race with questions, and as I canvassed, I heard many of you express those questions back to me. Can we improve our schools? How do we keep the community and that vibrant, unique, individual business thriving and not allow giant stores and change the entrepreneurial spirit of the city? And how do we grow the city without clogging the roads? Anyone who is new to the City Council will have to learn and build relationships to answer these questions. He or she will have to listen to the various voices of the city of Alexandria, and they're going to have to hear the voices of all the Alexandrians. My career is based on just that, listening and acting. I started my career as a volunteer in '96 for the Clinton Gore inauguration, and that created an opportunity for me to work for Richard Gephardt, the minority leader in the House. And after many years of helping Democrats across the U.S., I moved on to the Senate. And most recently, I worked for Senator Al Franken from Minnesota. I was actually Franken's first Senate employee. And I was responsible for coordinating all the pieces and bringing all the staff to get the offices here and in Minnesota up and running very quickly. Supervising a staff of over 60 here and remotely, not an easy job. And that may be our results. I managed volunteers, interns, and kept the office going. But the bottom line, and the most important part of my job, is the budget, and making sure that we adhere to the strict laws of the state, of the city. Oh my gosh. The laws that were put on our office, on the federal government, that every office had to follow. And everything was public record, so we had to follow strict public scrutiny. Like many of you, while I was working on the Hill, I was raising my family. And at the beginning of the year, my husband and I started a small business in Alexandria. And I've been listening. I've been listening to the parents at school, folks at the dog park, families at the soccer games, and to my neighbors over the fence. And I believe, as citizens, that we can be heard on issues of traffic, schools, and bureaucracy. For example, when I was not going around canvassing, I met a woman who started a small business in Delray, and she was very excited. She felt the city was very helpful. She went in with her papers to get going, and she thought she had accomplished everything she needed. And then an inspector would come and she'd missed a zoning part. She hadn't wanted to pay $25,000 to an architecture firm to do all of the paperwork. She wanted to do it herself. She wanted to take that, I can do this, that entrepreneur spirit, and take it further. Where she would be frustrated, she wasn't. She looked at it and said, okay, I'm going to dig in and I'm going to do it. And her business is booming. She just hired her second a new staffer. But I see it also as an opportunity for us to work on educating the entrepreneurs, for educating those potential job creators in the city. and helping minimize red tape, or streamlining the process in City Hall for businesses to obtain their permits that they need. Transportation is another huge issue that I've heard a lot about, and not just the parking lot sometimes on Route 1 and the rush hour that's always on Duke Street, but the offshoot that's come from that. We've had careful planning as the city has grown, but I think we've forgotten about the side streets. And as like Little Street in Delray has grown, where there used to be 1 or 2 families with kids, now almost every house has kids, and it's a major cut through to Braddock Road. These are issues that we need to address as city councillors, and I think that I can help make that better. There are other things that I have talked about as I've been meeting people and canvassing, and there are probably issues that you've all thought of. But as my campaign goes, I'll discuss them, and there'll be the couple of citywide debates, but there are other opportunities to talk about the citywide and neighborhood issues. I look forward to addressing them with all the voters and my colleagues. I believe as citizens we can be heard, and with your help we can work to getting the solutions for all Alexandrians. But to start the process I need your help, and I need to win the primary June 12th. So I promised a couple of people that I would be brief, because there is an NCAA game. So thank you all for here. Sign up for canvassing and signs, and I appreciate you coming. And enjoy the barbecue.